The word aji really just means chili pepper, specifically those that were grown from native South American varieties, and we're gonna get to know an awful lot of them over the next few weeks because
this is Adventures in Ajiland, Colorado Rockies, man. Growing plants to understand which ones are the hotties, man. An audience of pepper lovers, all my sisters and my brothers grow along to get along and learn from each other. Adventures in Ajiland. You didn't know? This is Adventures in Ajiland. Never forget, plants help us grow.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of Adventures in Ajiland. My name is Boss. I'm a gardener and a lover of all things spicy. We're kicking it off by taking a look at a very cool pepper from Peru called Aji Ayuyo. I'm probably not saying that right, and that's going to be a common theme throughout this series. A lot of Spanish names that I will probably butcher the pronunciation on, but what's important is I get to taste them all. Everything in this series was grown in my garden this year in 2023 here in Colorado. I've had a lot of success. There's somewhere between 25 and 30 varieties we'll be looking at on this series, and we're going to start with this Aji Ayuyo, like I said. So the Ayuyo is from Peru, and what makes it pretty cool is that it color changes as it ripens. So this plant started off with these dark purple fruits that quickly started to have some cream color bleed into them. Then they turned to orange and eventually red, but they never got a solid color. So even when they're ripe here, there's a little bit of this orangish red, a little bit of this dark purpley color. Some of them are more orange than others because I probably picked them a little too soon, but I'm really excited to see how they taste. I've heard they're low heat, but they are very delicious. All of the pods on the plant seem to be about 3/4 of an inch long. They all have a really good shine on them and they feel very firm. So they're gonna be crunchy, possibly even have thick walls in these small little fruits. I've never had these before. I think we should slice this sucker open, see what it looks like, and get to eat. Nice cut. That looks great. You can see it's got a lot of flesh, nice thick walls, handful of seeds in there. Hard to focus. Does have a bit of a membrane. Let's check out the other half. A few more seeds in that side, a little more hollow. So we will eat the side with more membrane just to make sure we're getting as much of the heat as possible. And so here we have it, the Aji Ayuyo. My goal for this series is really to explore as many of these aji varieties as possible. I've been enjoying growing them. They've done really well in my garden here at altitude in Colorado. I'm at about 6,000 feet above sea level, not too dissimilar from some of the areas where these peppers grow, maybe in Peru and in the Andes Mountains and things like that in South America. So, Aji Ayuyo, here's our first taste test for the Adventures in Ajiland. Got a little heat. I wasn't ready for that. When I bit, it actually shot its juice straight down the back of my throat. Perfect shot. Okay, it's not very hot by any means. It is probably closer to 2,000, 2,500 Scoville heat units. However, when you inhale it directly down your throat, it stings a little. Great flavor though. It is a sharp burn. That's the most noticeable thing when you first bite in, immediate heat. What's interesting, it doesn't have a whole lot of odor. So the overall flavors, it was a little bit sweet. Again, first thing I tasted was just sharp heat because of how I bit it. Let's try this other half a little bit just to see. So it is pretty mellow, sweetness. Very nice, kind of a pear flavor. Much better when it doesn't choke you on that first bite. You can actually enjoy it. Very nice, subtle sweetness, not overwhelming in any way, shape, or form. No floral whatsoever. A little tiny bit of kind of an earthy, grassy sort of flavor there, but mostly just that pear sweetness. I think pickling might be the way to go with these. Because that sweetness is so mild and it's not an overwhelming flavor, I think it would pick up some of that brine pretty well and really balance that out and soften it just a tiny bit, but probably still be crunchy because of those thick walls. Great on sandwiches, great on nachos and salsas. I'm definitely going to pickle these. There's a bunch more still growing on the plant. I've got about 2 months left in my season. I hope to have a really good harvest. That's our first stop on our adventures in Ajiland. We're going to be bringing along some special friends, my gnomies, maybe even the Yeti will show up. We've got a lot of stuff happening in the garden this year. I can't tell you how excited I am. It's taken me about 7 years to dial it in, but now I've got 140 pepper plants growing out there. Very excited. Almost every one of them is putting on fruit right now. Huge harvest yesterday. Lots of videos to record today. Lots more coming on this channel in 2023. Adventures in Ajiland. We're excited to have you along for the ride. Remember, plants help us grow.